Hi, my name is Coia, and I'm going to be telling you about the pros and cons of social media. Did you know that 74% of marketers believe that Facebook is important for their lead generation of sales strategy? Neither did I. Never would have thought Facebook was so important to actual businesses. Today I'm going to persuade you that social media is important to the world, even after I explain all the pros and cons it has globally. Yes, this does not affect most teenagers because they just use it to keep in touch with their friends or what is going on at their school or things of that nature. However, for businesses, it is these same social networks that help them keep sales up and spread their names all around the globe. So with this being said, I'm going to persuade you of the importance in social media globally and how the pros outweigh the cons. First, social media is much more than just Facebook and Twitter or YouTube and Instagram. Social networking sites that most use to keep in touch with friends and family. According to dictionary.com, social media is websites and other online means of communication that are used by large groups of people to share information and to develop social and professional contacts. Well, now that you technically know what exactly social media is, I'm going to portray to you some facts about its usage around the world. Next, we will talk about how social media usage has changed around the world. Social media and the growth of social networks play a huge role in large markets around the world. According to the Universal McCann Global Social Media Study, it is concluded that from Wave 3 to Wave 5, the amount of people globally who have managed a social network profile has risen 16%. More specifically, in the US, there was a 25% increase between these two waves, and in Germany, a 34% increase. The three most active social media activities are the following: watching video clips online, which 77% of people globally say they have done in the past 6 months; visit a friend's social network page, which 69% of people say they have done in the past 6 months; and lastly, read blogs or web blogs, which 64% of people say they have done in the past 6 months. However, the leading force in social media seems to be social networks such as Twitter and Facebook. Shortly after that comes blogs, video sites, message boards, and instant messenger. Social networks have in fact passed all means of keeping in touch with people, including face-to-face contact, which it passed in 2009. It is clear that social media plays a big role around the world and has gotten popular over the years, but now let's talk about the pros of social media. In addition to the usage of social media, there are many positive effects it has. Social media has a positive effect on many things going on around the world. One of these things it has a positive effect on is healthcare, which, according to social media and healthcare, the pros and the cons, many healthcare organizations use social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter to promote employee and community activities, communicate opportunities for better health, introduce new and advanced medical procedures, spotlight employee volunteer efforts, and keep employees and patients up to date on the impacts of weather-related events or emergencies. Another thing social media has a positive effect on is sales. According to Bringing Social into Sales, social media serves as a bridge between organizations and markets, making selling and buying quicker and easier. Businesses that are active on social media provide benefits such as privileged access to customers, early discovery of customer needs, referrals resulting in new revenue, and almost half of the buyers admit to an increase in the role of social media in the buying process. Also, social media simply makes it easier to interact with customers and advertise way more effectively. Now that you know some of the pros of social media, like its positive effect on healthcare and sales, let's look at some of the cons of social media. Lastly, we will talk about the cons of social media on the world. Social media has a negative effect as well on things going on all around the world. While yes, social media has a positive effect on sales, it also has a negative effect on sales as well. According to Bringing Social into Sales, any overly liberal approach towards social media use by salespeople may provide opportunities for competition or dissatisfied customers. With social media becoming so popular so fast, some salespeople may not be consistent in regards to responding and updating the information on these social networking sites. The most experienced salespeople are the most reluctant to using social media to help sales. Being able to use Facebook or Twitter to build a relationship with a customer may cause boundaries to be crossed between the buyer's professional and personal domains. Social media also has a negative impact on healthcare as well. Patients may post something on the organization's social networking page which could be a HIPAA violation. Most organizations delete these to be safe, but if not, they can get a big fine. Or it could cause reputational harm to the company. Another negative impact it has on healthcare is employees may post something about their workday which goes against major policies. According to social media and healthcare, the pros and the cons, customers may be affected by what they see on the social networking page. 40% of people said information found on the page would affect their decision to seek a second opinion. Also, 40% said information found on that same page would affect the way they coped with a chronic condition as well. Now that you know the cons of social media on things like healthcare and sales, let's recap everything we have talked about. Today I've explained to you what social media is, why it's important in today's world, as well as the pros and cons of it. Most people have no clue that Twitter and Facebook play a huge role in the market with the success of businesses. Social media is more than just a place to go for entertainment. Companies make big money from these social media sites, which ultimately helps keep our economy strong with more money being circulated around. Yes, I portrayed the cons that also come with social media being as popular today as it is, but there are many pros, including others I did not mention, which help it outweigh the cons. I have attached a link of a video where Jim Burns, president of Homeworld, and Roger Marsh, who is a radio producer and author, discuss the pros and cons of social networking specifically with today's teens. They explain how the parents need to get involved in these social media sites, as well as the basis for these sites